Walnuts have long been called a superfood. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and plant-based protein. Doctors recommend them for brain health. Magazines praise them for heart protection, and diet plans highlight them as the perfect snack for strong joints and steady energy. For seniors, walnuts seem like the ultimate food. Just a handful a day and you're on the road to better health. And in many ways, that's true. Studies show that eating walnuts regularly can lower cholesterol, reduce inflammation, and even improve memory. According to research from Harvard, adults who ate a serving of walnuts 2 to 3 times per week had a 15% lower risk of heart disease. That's powerful protection, especially after 60. But here's the part many seniors don't realize. Even something as healthy as walnuts can quietly turn against you. Eating them at the wrong times, pairing them poorly with other foods, or overlooking how they interact with certain health conditions and medications can increase hidden risks. For older adults whose digestion is slower, whose kidneys and heart need extra care, these mistakes can have a bigger impact than you might think. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and for over 20 years, I have helped seniors use food as medicine to protect their health and independence. Again and again, I've met patients who believed walnuts were strengthening their hearts and brains, only to discover that small mistakes were draining their energy, upsetting their digestion, or even raising their blood pressure. That's why today's video is so important. We're going to uncover the 10 dangerous mistakes seniors make with walnuts. Mistakes you may be making right now in your own kitchen without realizing it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to enjoy walnuts the right way, so they sharpen your memory, protect your heart, and strengthen your body instead of working against you. So, before you reach for your next handful of walnuts, let's dive into the very first mistake seniors must avoid. Mistake number 1, frying or roasting walnuts at high temperatures. There's something comforting about the smell of roasted walnuts. Many seniors love tossing them in a hot pan with butter or buying pre-roasted walnuts from the store because they taste richer and crunchier. It feels like the same healthy nut, just tastier. But here's the danger. When walnuts are exposed to high heat, they lose much of the very nutrition that makes them so powerful. Walnuts are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, the kind of fat that reduces inflammation, supports memory, and protects the heart. But these fats are delicate. Studies in the Journal of Food Science show that roasting walnuts above 360 degrees, 160 degrees C, causes omega-3s to break down into harmful byproducts. Instead of protecting your arteries, these damaged fats may actually irritate blood vessels and raise inflammation. High heat also reduces walnuts' antioxidant power. Polyphenols, which fight aging and cell damage, can drop by nearly 30% when exposed to roasting temperatures for too long. And walnuts roasted until dark can form compounds called advanced glycation end products, AGEs, linked to stiffer joints, slower healing, and memory decline. For seniors already facing oxidative stress, these changes matter more than you might realize. I remember Mr. Lawson, a 70-year-old who roasted walnuts every weekend at 400 degrees F, then stored them for the week. He believed he was doing his heart a favor. But despite eating walnuts daily, his cholesterol stayed high and his joints ached. When we looked closer, the problem was clear. The high heat roasting had stripped away much of the walnut's protection. Once he switched to raw walnuts and gently toasting them at low heat when he wanted extra flavor, his cholesterol dropped within months and his energy returned. So, what's the solution? You don't need to give up roasted walnuts entirely. The key is gentle heat. Toast them in the oven at 275 degrees F, 135 degrees C for 10 to 15 minutes, just until fragrant. Stir them halfway to avoid burning. This keeps their oils intact while bringing out flavor. And whenever possible, enjoy walnuts raw. They deliver the full package of omega-3s, antioxidants, and minerals, just as nature designed. Here's the bottom line. Walnuts are a superfood, but only when handled with care. High heat roasting or frying turns them from heart-healthy allies into a source of silent harm. Remember, with walnuts, gentle preparation preserves strength. Too much heat quietly takes it away. Mistake number 2, grinding walnuts ahead of time and storing them too long. For many seniors, grinding walnuts into a powder or paste feels like a smart idea. It makes them easier to chew, easier to add to oatmeal or smoothies, and more convenient than cracking and chopping every day. Some even prepare a big jar of ground walnuts to keep in the kitchen for weeks. It seems practical, but here's the problem. Once walnuts are ground, their oils are exposed to air, light, and heat, and they begin to spoil much faster than whole nuts. Walnuts are rich in polyunsaturated fats, especially omega-3s. These fats are incredibly delicate. When the protective shell of the nut is broken, oxygen quickly reacts with the oils, leading to oxidation. The result, rancid fats that not only taste bitter but can also cause inflammation in the body. A study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that ground walnuts stored at room temperature lost a significant portion of their antioxidant activity within just 1 week. I once worked with Mrs. Allen, a 68-year-old who blended a large batch of walnuts every month and kept the powder in a jar on her counter. She sprinkled it on her cereal every morning, believing it was protecting her brain and heart. But she often complained of stomach discomfort and noticed her walnuts tasted slightly bitter. When we tested her jar, the oils had gone rancid. After switching to freshly chopped walnuts and storing extras in the freezer, her digestion improved and she finally enjoyed the fresh flavor again. There's also the issue of hidden toxins. As walnuts go rancid, they form compounds called aldehydes, which are linked to oxidative stress and may increase their risk of chronic disease over time. Seniors with naturally weaker liver detoxification are especially vulnerable to these compounds. So, what's the solution? If you need ground walnuts, grind only the amount you'll use in a few days. Store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator or, better yet, the freezer to slow down oxidation. Always check for bitterness or off odors, which are signs the oils have turned. And whenever possible, choose whole walnuts. Their natural shell and skin protect the delicate fats far better than any jar can. Here's the bottom line. Walnuts are a superfood, but once ground, they lose their natural armor. For seniors, keeping walnuts fresh means keeping their benefits intact. Remember, freshness matters just as much as quantity. A small handful of fresh walnuts is far healthier than a jar of stale powder. Mistake number 3, eating walnuts right after exercise without adding protein. After finishing a walk, yoga class, or light strength training, many seniors reach for walnuts as a quick recovery snack. It makes sense. Walnuts are a healthy, satisfying, and easy to carry. But here's the mistake. Eating only walnuts right after exercise doesn't give your muscles the nutrients they need to recover and grow stronger. Here's why. Walnuts are rich in healthy fats and contain some protein, but not enough of the essential amino acids your muscles require after physical activity. When you exercise, especially after age 60, your muscles undergo small tears that need complete protein with amino acids like leucine to repair and rebuild. Without that, recovery slows and you may even lose muscle mass over time. Studies confirm this. Research from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition shows that seniors need around 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein after exercise to maximize muscle repair. Walnuts, while nutritious, provide only about 4 g of protein per ounce, and it's incomplete protein. That means relying solely on walnuts leaves your body undernourished at the very moment it needs help the most. I recall Mr. Peterson, a 67-year-old who started light resistance training to protect his bones. After every workout, he would eat a handful of walnuts, thinking it was the perfect fuel. But after months, instead of getting stronger, he felt weaker and noticed more soreness in his legs. When we added Greek yogurt with his walnuts, providing both complete protein and healthy fats, his recovery improved dramatically, and he finally saw the benefits of his training. The solution isn't to stop eating walnuts after exercise, but to pair them wisely. Combine walnuts with protein-rich foods like eggs, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie. This way you get the anti-inflammatory omega-3s from walnuts plus the amino acids your muscles need. For seniors especially, this combination not only supports recovery, but also helps fight sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle with age. Here's the bottom line. Walnuts are an excellent snack, but they can't do the job alone after exercise. For true recovery, your body needs both healthy fats and complete protein. Remember, it's not just about what you eat, but what you combine it with that makes the difference. Mistake number 4. Eating too many walnuts with kidney problems. Walnuts are often praised for their potassium, phosphorus, and magnesium, minerals that help the heart beat steadily, keep bones strong, and support healthy nerves. For most people, these are good things. But for seniors living with kidney disease, eating too many walnuts can quietly turn dangerous. Here's why. Healthy kidneys filter excess potassium and phosphorus from the blood, keeping levels balanced. But in chronic kidney disease, CKD, those filters don't work as well. Walnuts are high in both minerals. 1 ounce contains about 125 milliliters of phosphorus and 125 milliliters of potassium. If the kidneys can't clear these efficiently, they build up in the bloodstream. Too much potassium can lead to hyperkalemia, a condition that may cause muscle weakness, irregular heartbeat, or even sudden cardiac arrest. Excess phosphorus, on the other hand, can weaken bones and contribute to calcification in the arteries, raising heart risk even further. For seniors already struggling with kidney issues, this combination can be especially harmful. I once counseled old Mr. Ramirez, a 72-year-old with stage 3 kidney disease. He started snacking on 2 handfuls of walnuts a day because he'd read they were heart healthy. Within a few months, his lab tests showed elevated potassium and phosphorus levels. He began experiencing fatigue and occasional heart palpitations. His nephrologist advised him to cut back on walnuts, and once he did, his symptoms ceased and his lab numbers stabilized. Science confirms this caution. The National Kidney Foundation warns that nuts, while nutritious, should be eaten sparingly in people with kidney disease due to their phosphorus and potassium load. Seniors who often take multiple medications that also affect kidney function are at even greater risk. So what's the solution? If you have kidney disease, you don't have to avoid walnuts completely, but portion control is essential. Stick to a small handful once or twice a week rather than daily. Balance walnuts with other lower potassium kidney-friendly foods like apples, grapes, or rice cakes. And always check with your doctor or dietitian to see how walnuts fit into your individual kidney care plan. Here's the bottom line. Walnuts are powerful, but for seniors with kidney disease, too much can quietly strain the body. Moderation, medical guidance, and careful balance are the keys. Remember, the right food for one person can be the wrong food for another, especially when kidneys need extra care. Mistake number 5, pairing walnuts with diet soda. Many seniors reach for walnuts as a healthy snack, but wash them down with a can of diet soda, thinking it's a smart way to balance health and enjoyment. No sugar, no calories. What could go wrong? They tell themselves. But here's the truth. Pairing walnuts with diet soda can actually undo many of the health benefits walnuts are supposed to provide. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants, which work to reduce inflammation and protect the heart. Diet sodas, on the other hand, are filled with artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or saccharin. Research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology has shown that frequent consumption of artificial sweeteners is linked to higher risks of heart disease, weight gain, and even type 2 diabetes. Exactly the conditions walnuts are meant to help prevent. When consumed together, the benefits of walnuts can be blunted. Artificial sweeteners may disrupt the gut microbiome, reducing the absorption of antioxidants and healthy fats. For seniors who already have more delicate digestion, this can mean less protection for the heart, brain, and immune system. I recall Mrs. Thompson, a 69-year-old who kept a small container of walnuts in her purse. Every afternoon, she'd snack on a handful with a can of Diet Cola. She believed it was a perfect combination, healthy nuts, and a calorie-free drink. But over time, she began experiencing bloating, cravings for sweets, and rising blood sugar levels. When she replaced the soda with sparkling water flavored with lemon, she noticed fewer cravings, better digestion, and even improved energy. There's also the matter of metabolic confusion. Studies suggest that artificial sweeteners trick the brain into expecting sugar. When no calories arrive, the body craves more food later, leading to overeating. This cancels out the satiety effect walnuts normally provide, leaving seniors vulnerable to weight gain. So what's the solution? Walnuts are best paired with drinks that support, not sabotage, their benefits. Try water with a slice of citrus, unsweetened herbal tea, or even plain sparkling water. These options hydrate the body, aid digestion, and let walnuts do their job of nourishing your heart and brain. Here's the bottom line. Walnuts and diet soda may seem harmless together, but this pairing can quietly cancel out health benefits and invite new risks. Remember, it's not just what you eat, it's also what you drink with it that shapes your health. Mistake number 6, eating many walnuts without getting enough vitamin C. Walnuts are famous for their healthy fats and antioxidants. But here's something many seniors don't realize. If you eat a lot of walnuts without also getting enough vitamin C, you may not be getting the full benefits, and you could even increase oxidative stress in your body. Here's why. Walnuts are rich in polyunsaturated fats, particularly omega-3 fatty acids. While these fats protect the heart and brain, they are also highly prone to oxidation, a process where fats become unstable and produce harmful free radicals. Normally, antioxidants like vitamin C neutralize these free radicals. But if your vitamin C intake is low, the fats in walnuts can actually contribute to inflammation rather than reduce it. Studies confirm this. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that vitamin C plays a key role in protecting polyunsaturated fats from oxidation inside the body. Without it, the very compounds meant to protect your heart may end up damaging your blood vessels. I remember Mr. Daniels, a 71-year-old who ate walnuts daily as his main snack. He avoided fruit because it upset his stomach, so his diet was low in vitamin C. Over time, he began experiencing more frequent fatigue and noticed his skin bruised easily. When his doctor checked, his vitamin C levels were borderline deficient. After adding simple sources of vitamin C like bell peppers and strawberries alongside his walnuts, his energy improved and his blood pressure readings became steadier. The combination of walnuts and vitamin C is especially important for seniors since aging naturally reduces antioxidant defenses. Without enough vitamin C, the balance tips toward oxidative stress, which is linked to faster aging, joint pain, and higher risk of heart disease. So what's the solution? If you enjoy walnuts daily, make sure you're also eating vitamin C-rich foods. Pair walnuts with citrus fruits, berries, kiwi, or even a small glass of orange or grapefruit juice if it doesn't interfere with medications. This way, you're not only enjoying the healthy fats in walnuts, you're protecting them and letting them work for your heart and brain. Here's the bottom line. Walnuts and vitamin C are partners. One provides the healthy fats, the other protects those fats from harm. Remember, even the best foods need the right allies to unlock their full power. Mistake number 7. Cooking walnuts too long in porridge. Oatmeal or porridge is one of the most common breakfasts for seniors in the U.S. Warm, filling, and easy to digest. Many people love to add walnuts for extra crunch and heart-healthy fats. It seems like the perfect combination, but here's the mistake. If you cook walnuts directly in porridge for too long, much of their nutrition gets lost before they even reach your plate. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants like polyphenols, but both are highly sensitive to heat. When walnuts simmer in hot porridge for 20 to 30 minutes, the oils begin to oxidize, breaking down their beneficial fats. Research in the Journal of Food Science shows that prolonged cooking can reduce antioxidant activity in walnuts by over 40%. What starts as a superfood ends up a little more than filler with a faint nutty taste. I worked with Mrs. Miller, a 70-year-old who made oatmeal every morning with walnuts cooked right into the pot. She thought she was boosting her heart health, but she noticed her cholesterol numbers weren't improving despite her efforts. When we reviewed her routine, the issue was clear. Her walnuts were being overcooked. Once she switched to sprinkling raw or lightly toasted walnuts on top after cooking, her cholesterol dropped and she felt more energetic in the mornings. Overcooking also affects taste and texture. Walnuts boiled in porridge lose their crunch, becoming soft and sometimes bitter. For many seniors, that makes breakfast less enjoyable. And when food isn't enjoyable, it's harder to stick with healthy habits long term. So what's the solution? Cook your oatmeal or porridge as usual, then add walnuts at the end, just before serving. This way, they keep their crunch and preserve their healthy fats and antioxidants. If you prefer them warm, lightly toast walnuts in a pan for a few minutes and then mix them in. You'll get both flavor and nutrition. Here's the bottom line. Walnuts and oatmeal are a powerful combination for heart health, but only if you prepare them wisely. Cooking walnuts too long robs them of the very nutrients you're trying to gain. Remember, timing matters. Add walnuts at the right moment and they'll work with your porridge, not against it. Mistake number 8, taking walnut oil capsules instead of eating whole walnuts. In today's world of supplements, it's easy to believe that a pill can replace real food. Many seniors see walnut oil capsules at the pharmacy and think, why bother chewing nuts when I can just swallow the oil? It seems convenient, especially if chewing is difficult or if dentures make eating nuts uncomfortable. But here's the truth. Walnut oil capsules are not the same as eating the whole nut, and relying on them alone can mean missing out on most of the benefits walnuts provide. Walnuts are more than just their oil. Yes, the oil contains omega-3 fatty acids, which are important for heart and brain health. But whole walnuts also deliver fiber, protein, polyphenols, magnesium, and vitamin E, all of which work together in ways a capsule simply can't replicate. Fiber supports digestion and blood sugar control. Protein helps preserve muscle mass after 60. And polyphenols are powerful antioxidants that fight inflammation and aging. Walnut oil capsules give you the fat, but none of these extras. I once counseled Mr. Harris, a 74-year-old who started taking walnut oil supplements daily instead of eating the nuts. He believed he was protecting his heart while avoiding the hassle of chewing. But after 6 months, he noticed constipation, lower energy, and no improvement in his cholesterol levels. When he switched back to eating a small handful of whole walnuts several times a week, his digestion improved, and his blood work finally showed progress. Science backs this up. A study in the British Journal of Nutrition compared people who ate whole walnuts to those who consumed walnut oil. The walnut group showed greater improvements in cholesterol and blood vessel function, suggesting that the fiber and polyphenols in the nut itself played a crucial role. So what's the solution? If you truly can't chew nuts, walnut oil can be a supplement, but it should never be a replacement. Blend walnuts into smoothies, crush them into oatmeal, or choose nut butters made from pure walnuts. These options give you the full package, not just the oil. Here's the bottom line. Walnuts work best in their natural whole form. Capsules may seem convenient, but they leave out the fiber, protein, and antioxidants that make walnuts a true superfood. Remember, nature rarely makes mistakes. When you eat the nut as it is, you get the complete protection your body needs. Mistake number 9. Drinking packaged walnut milk loaded with sugar. Plant-based milks have become very popular in the U.S., and walnut milk is often marketed as a heart-healthy alternative. The idea sounds perfect. All the goodness of walnuts in a creamy, easy-to-digest drink. Many seniors buy cartons of walnut milk thinking it's the same as eating the nuts. But here's the hidden trap. Most packaged walnut milks in supermarket shelves are filled with added sugars and thickeners that cancel out the health benefits. 1 cup of sweetened walnut milk can contain 10 to 15 grams of added sugar, nearly the same as a cookie. For seniors managing diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart disease, that sugar spike can be especially dangerous. Instead of lowering inflammation, it raises blood sugar, triggers insulin spikes, and adds empty calories that may lead to weight gain. I remember Mrs. Green, a 70-year-old who switched from dairy milk to walnut milk because she wanted to protect her heart. She proudly drank 2 glasses a day, believing she was doing the right thing. But at her next checkup, her blood sugar had crept into the pre-diabetic range. When we looked at her carton, the label revealed the truth. 12 grams of added sugar per serving. Once she switched to unsweetened walnut milk and paired it with whole walnuts for fiber, her blood sugar stabilized and she felt lighter and more energetic. There's also the issue of nutrient dilution. Commercial walnut milk often contains very little actual walnut, sometimes less than 5% of the drink. The rest is water, sugar, gums, and stabilizers. That means you're not getting the full dose of omega-3s, protein, or antioxidants you would from eating real walnuts. Science confirms this concern. A study in the Journal of Food Composition and Analysis compared plant-based milks and found that many nut milks were significantly lower in protein and nutrients than the nuts themselves. Seniors relying on sweetened walnut milk may think they're nourishing their heart, when in reality they're adding sugar without much benefit. So what's the solution? If you enjoy walnut milk, choose the unsweetened version. Better yet, make your own at home by blending fresh walnuts with water and straining. It's fresher, richer in nutrients, and free from hidden sugars. And remember, nothing replaces eating whole walnuts for fiber and antioxidants. Here's the bottom line. Sweetened walnut milk is more dessert than health food. For seniors, it can quietly add sugar while removing the very nutrients your body needs. Remember, always check the label, because what looks healthy on the front of the carton may tell a very different story on the back. Mistake number 10. Eating walnuts in the shell. Without proper cleaning, many seniors enjoy cracking walnuts straight from the shell. It feels natural, even nostalgic, just like in childhood, sitting at the kitchen table with a nutcracker in hand. Whole walnuts also tend to be cheaper and stay fresh longer than shelled ones. But here's the hidden danger. If walnuts in the shell are not properly cleaned, they can carry dust, mold, or bacteria that quietly harm your health. Walnut shells are porous and often stored in bulk bins or warehouses. During this time, they can collect dust, soil, and even fungal spores. One of the biggest concerns is aspergillus mold, which can produce aflatoxins, toxins linked to liver damage, and a higher risk of cancer. While aflatoxin contamination is rare in the U.S., it can still happen, especially if walnuts are stored in warm, humid conditions. There's also the risk of bacterial contamination. Walnuts in the shell may come into contact with dirt or animal droppings during harvesting. If not cleaned properly, cracking the nut can transfer bacteria like E. coli or salmonella from the shell surface to the edible nut inside. For seniors whose immune systems are often weaker, this can mean a higher chance of foodborne illness. I recall Mr. Johnson, a 73-year-old who loved cracking walnuts in front of the TV. He rarely washed them, assuming the shell was just for protection. One winter, he developed a severe stomach infection after a holiday season of eating unwashed walnuts from a bulk bag. His doctor traced it back to bacterial contamination. Since then, he always washes and dries walnuts in the shell before cracking, and he hasn't had a problem since. So what's the solution? If you enjoy walnuts in the shell, make sure to wash them thoroughly under running water and dry them completely before storing. Keep them in a cool, dry place to prevent mold growth. Avoid nuts that look shriveled, discolored, or have a musty odor. And when in doubt, choose shelled walnuts from sealed packages, which are usually processed under stricter food safety standards. Here's the bottom line. Walnuts in the shell can be safe and delicious, but only if handled with care. For seniors, the extra step of cleaning can mean the difference between nourishment and hidden risk. Remember, sometimes it's not the nut itself, but what comes with it that poses the greatest danger. So today, we've taken a deep look at walnuts, one of the most celebrated superfoods for seniors. We discovered that while walnuts can truly protect your heart, sharpen your memory, and keep your joints strong, small mistakes in how you cook them, store them, or even combine them with other foods can quietly take away their benefits or even put your health at risk. We learned that roasting walnuts at high heat can damage their delicate omega-3 oils. Grinding them too far in advance makes them spoil faster. Eating walnuts after exercise without protein slows muscle recovery, and for those with kidney problems, too many walnuts can strain the body. We also saw how pairing them with diet sodas, skipping vitamin C, or overcooking them in porridge reduces their protective power. Even relying on walnut oil capsules, sweetened walnut milk, or unwashed walnuts in the shell can create hidden risks. But here's the good news. None of this means you need to give up walnuts. With simple changes, gentle roasting, fresh storage, balanced pairings, and mindful portions, you can enjoy all of the benefits without the risks. Walnuts are still one of the best foods nature has given us, especially for seniors, as long as we enjoy them the right way. I've seen again and again how small adjustments make a big difference. Seniors who once struggled with fatigue, high blood pressure, or weak digestion regain strength and confidence simply by learning how to use foods like walnuts more wisely. If you found this video helpful, I'd love for you to join our community here at Senior Healthcare. Every week, I share simple science-based tips to help you stay strong, independent, and full of vitality after 60. So, don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell, and share this video with a friend who also loves walnuts. Remember, it's not just about what you eat. It's about eating smart with care and balance that keeps you healthy for years to